All right, y'all. So the good news is we are truly and sincerely starting to see a pretty strong backlash to what's going on with Trump and Elon Musk and the Republicans now. For a while there, it was beyond lonely. I was sitting there covering everything they were doing, and I was like, I don't see that many people talking about what they're doing. I don't see hair on fire. I don't see coverage of this. I don't see Democrats firing back. I really got to the point where I was like, maybe I was totally wrong when I said, if anything, I think the resistance will be the same or stronger this time around. Up until like literally yesterday, it felt like no, there would be no resistance. That like everybody's just blinded by Trump's 1.4 percentage point victory in the popular vote, and they feel like, all right, it is what it is. Like it's just like there was an FDR era and a Reagan era. Now we got a Trump era. Like we got to go along to get along. But no, the grassroots energy has now really bubbled up and hit a boiling point, and that's what we need, bro. That's what we need. So it warms my heart to see we just had a number of pretty big protests pop up around the country. So let's start with this one. This one happened the other day. This is in LA, and it's specifically in regards to the mass deportation. Here we go.
In here too, live now from Fox, I'm Andy Mack. I want to take you out now to a developing story in Southern California as protesters have blocked the 101 freeway, protesters around the immigration crackdown. I want to put this up, a post from the Los Angeles Times reporter Daniel Miller saying downtown LA protest demonstrators are now streaming onto the 101 freeway near City Hall, bringing Sunday afternoon traffic to a standstill. Other protesters are crowding overpasses where they are waving Mexican flags and holding signs. Another post says, you can see just the traffic stop saying, here's our first dispatch from the anti-Trump immigration protests in downtown LA. Thousands of demonstrators have come waving Mexican flags and signs. Some have walked onto the 101 freeway, halting traffic. You can see they're providing an update on this story as well. And you can see the smell of tire smoke hung in the air in the 101 freeway. Overpass trucks and motorcycles did noisy burnouts, drawing cheers and cameras. The vibes of this anti-Trump immigration protest remain positive as a large group of people protesting President Donald Trump's illegal immigration crackdown stormed the 101 freeway in downtown Los Angeles on Sunday, causing major delays for both sides of traffic in the area. The protest began around...
Now, by the way, let me point out, he says, they're protesting the illegal immigration crackdown. That's not exactly fair. That's not exactly correct. There's a few reasons. Number one, Trump announced he's going to send 30,000 immigrants to Gitmo. Gitmo is an illegal, unconstitutional, extrajudicial prison. There's no due process. There's no habeas corpus. This is where Bush sent alleged terrorists, who, by the way, turned out to not be terrorists at all. This thing is beyond criminal. No democracy should ever have a facility like Guantanamo Bay, right? That's point number one. Point number two is, we've already seen the stories, bro. They're not just arresting illegals, right? There was a U.S. veteran who was arrested by ICE in Newark, and it actually turned out they were not just an immigrant and not just a U.S. citizen, but they were a veteran. You had a Puerto Rican family arrested as well, including a toddler, right? Women and children are on the chopping block. Like, what are we talking about here? It gives people a misleading picture. They're protesting, kicking out illegal immigrants. It's like, what exactly does that mean, right? If you propose, yeah, okay, look, if you're an undocumented immigrant and you committed a crime, a violent crime, most people are going to say, yeah, if there's anybody that's worthy of deporting, that's them, right? But don't make it seem like that's what Trump is doing. That is not what he's doing. That is not even close to what he's doing. In order to hit the numbers that they want to hit, that they're saying they're going to hit, you need to say, I'm just going to round you up if I think you're illegal, even if you're not illegal. And also, who cares about if you have a criminal record or not? That's why we're seeing U.S. veterans get rounded up. That's why you're seeing toddlers get rounded up. Like, what are we talking about here, bro? What are we talking about? So I hate that framing. And that's why these protests are totally merited. Now, again, the media didn't talk too much about the fact that Trump was like, we're going to send immigrants to Gitmo. But my guess is a lot of these bodies in the street, they heard that and they said, what the fuck is this?
Around half an hour later, the Los Angeles Police Department declared it, quote, a non-permitted demonstration and advised people to expect traffic delays. The crowd grew to a few thousand people who marched to City Hall.
That's a lot of people, bro. There's a lot of people all down here, bridge over here, people on the highway. Jesus Christ.
Before many walked onto the freeway near the Alameda Street exit shortly after noon. Video of the scene showed many carrying U.S. or Mexican flag signs opposing U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Police reported at 1:19 p.m. that the demonstration had moved back onto surface streets and opening both north and southbound lanes of the freeway. So you can just see the amount of people there, and you can actually see some people walking through on the highway. And just to show you how much this traffic has been stopped, as it's just about 2 o'clock on the West Coast right now. So we're following this latest story. Plenty of different crackdowns, different operations by ICE in various major metropolitan areas over the last week.
Yeah. All right, so that's one. But then we also get this. Seen from the US Treasury tonight, you won't see on TV. And by the way, that's true. There's not much coverage of these, a lot of protests that are popping up. So being outside the Treasury, of course, this is because Elon illegally hacked the Treasury with a bunch of pilled up 21-year-olds. What's that saying? One Doge oopsie, kiss me Ma's retirement goodbye. Yeah, that's true. Basically like, hey, none of your data is safe. The Social Security payment's not safe. Like Medicare's not safe. Medicaid's not safe. They illegally hacked the Treasury. What part of this are you not getting? They're deleting things they don't like. They have no authority to do that. So look, it looks like the people are understanding what's happening. It looks like they get this. This is like legitimately a coup. God bless more. So here's another picture from it. Another picture from the protest at the Treasury. People are getting out there. And then look, you want a nice dose of hopium? 50501 or 5051 protests update as anti-Trump march in 50 states expands. There's this group that's basically working on getting 50 protests in 50 states. And they've gotten together with a former Bernie group. And I think they said it's supposed to be February 5th. So this may have already happened. I don't know if they're going to continue down this path, but just the fact you're now seeing energy, right? You're now seeing energy. You're now seeing action. You're not seeing people laying a chalk outline of themselves on the ground. And this is what we needed. We needed everybody to come together. We needed everybody to get riled up. We needed everybody to be united. We needed everybody to say, okay, whatever our other disagreements are, bro, the mission now is super duper clear. We have to stop this fascist takeover of the government. I mean, the world's richest man illegally hacking the Treasury and deleting whatever the fuck he wants. Really? That's where we are? Sending immigrants to Guantanamo Bay? Really? That's where we are? An administration that signed an executive order on day one to increase corruption in his cabinet and raise drug prices? That's where we are? Freeing 1,500 January 6ers, including ones that were cop assaulters and Fredophiles? That's where we are? Every step of the way. You know, one of the cringe resistance liberals made this point, but they're 100% right. And so I think we should use it. They said, no, we're no longer the resistance. Now we're the defiance. I agree with that completely for the simple reason. Let's not kid ourselves like Trump is going to do literally anything that might be positive. There's not one thing. The first term, hey, at least he did the First Step Act. At least he pardoned Alice Johnson. Like, there were a couple things you could point to. Okay, yeah, that was good. I'll give him credit there. It's not happening this time. It's not fucking happening. Even the one thing that he pretended was good, you'll see, it's not going to pan out. Oh, we're going to release the files on MLK and RFK and their assassinations, right? This is what he said. And JFK, we're going to release all that stuff. Number one, I guarantee you it's redacted to the high heavens, so we have no idea what actually happened. Number two, weird, why didn't you release the Epstein files? Could it be because you're on it and you were best friends with him for a decade, like he said? So even the one thing that in theory could have been good, that's not even going to fucking pan out. So let's stop kidding ourselves. The defiance, no to everything. Any Democrat that votes for any member of Trump's cabinet, any member, they should all be protested. They should all get flooded with 10,000 phone calls of furious constituents saying, nah, we're not fucking doing this. John Fetterman keeps bending the knee. Look, a lot of Trump's picks are getting like at least 8 or 10 Democratic votes in the Senate. That is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Every Democrat should vote against every single pick. No questions asked. None. Zero. So they better fucking fall in line. And if they don't, all this energy should also be directed at them. Because somebody's going to represent us or else, right? They better fucking represent us. They better represent. I'm seeing center-left liberal types writing articles like, primary all the Democrats, get them out of here. They're not fighting. Make them fight better. Now, to be fair, they did just the other day. That's like some of them snapped out of it and got out there and started fighting. But like, we're going to use this energy. We're going to harness this energy because we can't just sit back and relax while our country gets dismantled piece by piece. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.